IGNOU Regional Center Noida. On behalf of IGNOU Regional Center Noida and my own behalf, I welcome our resource persons, Professor Suhas Shetgovekar, Director, School of Social Sciences, IGNOU, and Professor Swati Patra from Discipline of Psychology, School of Social Sciences. I welcome both of you, ma'am, and I also welcome all the participants in this webinar. As the name suggests, and we are all aware that today we are here to join to observe World Mental Health Day of the year 2024, and the theme for this program is emotional intelligence, the key to mental well-being. And for familiarizing us and to make us aware about this particular day and this particular theme, we have our learned resource persons with us from IGNOU headquarters. So before starting with this webinar, may I request Satyen Kushwaji to kindly play the IGNOU Kulgeet so that we can start the program further. Satyenji, please. Thank you very much, Satyenji. Now, may I request our Senior Regional Director, Sir Dr. Amit Chaturvedi, to kindly introduce our resource persons to the participants and initiate the program with the webinars. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Anjana. Welcome to all the participants. Welcome to Director SOSS, Swati Patra, Madam. As we are aware that the World Mental Health Day is celebrated globally on 10th October every day. But due to some other official commitment, we could not organize this webinar on the same day. The basic aim is to organize this webinar is to organize the activities on the occasion of the World Mental Health Day to create awareness and sensitization with regard to the issue related to the mental health among the among the masses and peoples. On this occasion, I welcome Professor Uma Kajilal, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam, आज अभी है नहीं, बैठी नहीं है, वो उन्होंने कहा था she committed me कि she will attend the program. Professor Suhas Shetgovekar, Director, School of Social Sciences. Dr. Professor Swati Patra, Discipline of Psychology, School of Social Sciences. Dr. Umesh Chandra Pandey, Director, Regional Services Division. My regional center colleague, Dr. M.B. Laskar, Additional Director. Dr. Anjana, Deputy Director. Coordinators, regional directors of the various regional centers across the country, and the students of the psychology. Today we have invited Professor Suhas Shetgovekar, Director, School of Sciences, IGNOU, and Professor Swati Patra, Discipline of Psychology, to deliver a lecture in today's webinar, Emotional Intelligence, the Key to the Mental Well-being. Professor Suhas Shetgovekar is presently professor with the discipline of the psychology and is presently director, School of Social Sciences, IGNOU. She joined IGNOU as reader in December 2010, and she has published a number of research papers and articles in the various national and international journals. She has a vast experience in the field of the psychology. Professor Swati Patra is another resource person. Today's webinar is also a professor of the discipline of the psychology, School of Social Sciences, IGNOU, and she did MSc in counseling and family therapy from IGNOU in 2017, PhD, MPhil from the Utkal University, and she is also UGC NET. She did PGDD from IGNOU in 2012, and she has also published a number of research papers and articles in the various national and international journals. On this occasion, I welcome both the resource persons, dignitaries of IGNOU, all the dignitaries of the IGNOU headquarters, and my colleagues of the different regional centers, study centers, and students. I welcome the Director SS to deliver a lecture.
Thank you so much, and we really appreciate this initiative taken by the regional center, because at the headquarters, when we were having discussion, we felt that our regional centers are very active and they are into so many different activities, and to create more and more awareness, we also thought we can approach the regional center to carry out different activities. So this is a very unique initiative that RC Noida has taken, where they are having a workshop, because definitely having a workshop is in some way where you are able to learn at least some basic skills. So without actually speaking further, we are going to talk on emotional intelligence, which is one of the important skills, and we have divided the session. Being online, of course there is some difficulty, but Professor Swati Patra will take the initial half and then I will continue. So I request Professor Swati Patra to please take over.
Thank you, Professor Suhas, and a very good morning to all of you. And definitely, as Suhas was saying, it is a very good initiative by the regional center, and I congratulate Dr. Amit Chaturvedi also for taking this initiative, where a lot of people have joined in for this webinar, and on an important topic, that is emotional intelligence, the key to mental well-being. Usually, this particular webinar we are going to organize, the RC has organized as part of the World Mental Health Day 2024. Every year, the WHO it celebrates World Mental Health Day on 10th of October. So this year also, the 10th of October, the Mental Health Day was observed, and the theme for this year's Mental Health Day was it is time to prioritize mental health at the workplace. So as part of this observation of the Mental Health Day, a series of activities have been organized by the Discipline of Psychology at School of Social Sciences at IGNOU headquarters, and also the regional centers all over India. They have taken initiatives to conduct different sessions to celebrate this World Mental Health Day. Now, coming to the particular topic that we have today, it is emotional intelligence, the key to mental well-being. Usually what happens is that mostly we focus on our physical health. Mental health is usually neglected. Okay, and all of you must be aware that various issues related to mental health have come up in the recent times, and people are generally becoming aware about the importance of mental health. And as per WHO also, health doesn't include only physical health but also mental health. So equally we need to emphasize on physical as well as mental health. And when we talk about mental health and well-being, emotional intelligence is one of the crucial factors that play an important role in enhancing our mental health. So, all of you must be knowing about intelligence. All of you must be aware about emotions. So, when we talk about emotional intelligence, there are two terms here. One is we emphasize on emotions. We also emphasize on intelligence. So I think all of you present here must be having some understanding about it. What what do we mean by when we talk about emotional intelligence? But I think before we come into the details of the meaning of emotional intelligence, let us let us talk about a few situations. Okay. I think because around 20 participants are there here, so we plan to make it as much as possible an interactive session, okay, because online session has its own limitations as well as plus points, of course. I hope all of you present here would participate as we deliberate on different aspects. Let us take a few scenarios and then let us see how emotional intelligence is involved in this. Okay. Now, one example is like suppose you are having you had an argument with one of your friends. Suppose, okay. So during that argument, what you are likely to do? Okay. One is that you can stop the argument and then agree for a short break or pause before you resume the discussion. Or you can completely shut down and stop responding to the other person. Or you can apologize so that the argument ends quickly. Okay. Or you can start saying bad words or insulting the other person. Okay. So if I can have a quick response from some of you, like which one of this would you like to go for? Okay. Suppose you're having an argument with your friend or any other person. Out of these four scenarios, four options, which one would you like to go for? Can I have a quick response from any of you? Because it might take some time to think about the things. Okay.
Madam, we have keep this program in recording mode, and we will share this recording to all the students of MA Psychology.
Fine. Okay. So then I would go on with this thing. Okay. So now when you are seeing these different options that are there, for example, like stop, you don't respond to the other person. Sometimes we find that when we are in an argument or there is a heated discussion, we usually think that, okay, we can stop responding to the other person and then, or you just start insulting the other person. So these are the different responses where this might not be helpful for the other person, the relationship between the two persons also. Okay. So that is why the first choice that I was telling here, like stop the fight and agree to a short pause, okay, or a short break before you start resuming the discussion. Now, what is involved here? When we are talking about a short pause, that means when we are engaged in an argument or a heated discussion, so there the rational part of our mind, the thinking part of our mind is not in operation. Okay. So our emotions overpower us there. Okay. So when that happens, we are not able to think clearly. Okay. So that is why in this particular situation, when we are saying that, okay, we can break for a while and then we can start discussion. So what is involved here? How does it help? Because our the emotions that subside, okay, when we take a break, okay, and when emotions subside for a while, then our thinking becomes more clear. Okay, and when we are able to think in a more clear manner, definitely we will be able to take a proper decision, or we will be able to discuss properly with the other person, and then after that discussion maybe some mutual agreement can come up. Okay, so here in this particular situation, as you are saying, both the emotions were there, emotions overpowered you. But if we are in the flow of the emotions, if we start criticizing the other person, or we stop responding completely to the other person, or we just think that okay, we let's end the matter, apologize and just give in and then stop the matter, that also might not be helpful, because proper discussion didn't happen, and then a mutual solution didn't emerge. Okay, so it is better when we are in full emotion to take a pause, so that our thinking process becomes clear, and then we are able to think properly, discuss properly, and arrive at a proper decision or solution. Okay. Similarly, I'll give you one more example here. For example, you have we are talking about students here. So suppose as a like you had an assignment and you had invested a lot of time and energy into doing that a particular assignment or project, and you feel that you have done a good job, but your instructor or supervisor gives you a very low grade, okay, and on that particular assignment or project. So how does one deal with this situation? Okay, there can be different responses to this situation also. For example, you might stop working further, like putting your best efforts for future assignments, or you can start criticizing your own work, or you can ask the supervisor, confront or start an argument like why this kind of low grade was given, or you can go through the assignments completely and think about different ways in which you could improve the project and for your future this thing work. Okay, so you can take the feedback and then try to implement this in your future work. Now, as you can see here, this last option is better, because you are not letting your emotions overpower you at that particular moment. You are thinking in a clear manner, finding out what are the different comments or different shortcomings that are there in your assignment or project, and then you are trying to implement those feedback in your future work. So, in all these scenarios, what do we see? The main thing here is that the emotions are there, and emotions we need to manage. Okay, so when we are talking about emotions and emotional intelligence, there are two terms here: emotions plus intelligence. Okay, now both are important. Usually we emphasize on intelligence more, and we say that emotions are they hamper our performance, they hamper our work. Okay, yes, if it is only emotions, then definitely it will hamper our decision making or proper planning. But then emotions also play a crucial role. Emotions also provide us a lot of information. They also help us in making a proper decision, or think about the situations or things in a proper manner. So the main point here is that when you are talking about emotions plus intelligence, that means we have to take both into account. Okay, both we have to consider emotions as well as we have to employ our intelligence, and then we will be, when this is we come up with the emotional intelligence, then that will help us in arriving at a better decision or plan things properly. Okay. For example, all of you might have heard about this example, suppose at the workplace, your boss or your supervisor got angry with you and scolded you, or gave some negative remarks and criticized you. Okay, so you felt upset, and then you came home, and then you went out your anger and upset feeling on your family member. Okay, and that particular family member might got he or she let out the angry feelings on the children in the family. Okay, and the child again, like here the child lets out the angry feelings on the pet dog. So this is the sequence you see, like the emotions arise at the workplace. Okay, the angry feeling that came to home, and at home the feelings affected that particular emotions affected other family members, including the child and the pet dog. So this is a sequence. This can be prevented if we become aware of our own emotions. Okay. So this is very important that first of all we need to be knowing about our own emotions, what kind of emotions we are experiencing, okay, or undergoing. Then once we know the emotions, once we identify the emotions, then we will be able to manage those emotions. Okay. So in the emotional, when we talk about emotional intelligence, the first thing is that we need to know about our own emotions. And when we know our own emotions, okay, or emotions in other persons, then the intelligence part comes, that we have to use our intelligence or our rational mind, our rational thinking there, so that we can arrive at a particular decision which is best in the particular situation. Okay. Now, most of you are students here, and some of you might be working also. So if you think about the characteristics of supervisor or the authority, then let us see what are those characteristics. Suppose if we ask that what are the characteristics in a particular supervisor or higher your authority figure, then usually we would say that the person must be having knowledge about his or her work, must be knowing what work he or she is supposed to do. The person must must perform well in the particular job role. The person must be hardworking, or we also expect that the person or the boss must be caring for the juniors or the subordinates working under her or him, or the boss must be taking interest to know the employees. There must be good communication between the boss and the employees, the juniors, and behaving well with the juniors, must be able to clarify the doubts or solve their problems. So there are various characteristics we can say. If you are asked about okay, what are the characteristics that you would like to see in your boss or this thing, so these are the various characteristics we can see. Now if you see these characteristics, some of these characteristics are cognitive in nature. Okay, that is, they relate to the intelligence or thinking part. Okay, and some of these characteristics are affective in nature or relate to emotions. For example, like when you say the boss must be caring towards the juniors, or must speak well or treat them properly, these are the affective characteristics. Okay. Or when we say the boss must be knowing about his or her work properly, deliver in the office, and must be hardworking and all, these are the cognitive aspects relating to the cognitive aspects. Okay. So as you similarly, if you talk about who is a good teacher, suppose if you recall your teachers, you might be thinking about different characteristics. You might come up with different characteristics in a good teacher. So you just think about who was your good teacher in your school or college. So there are different characteristics you might be visualizing. So some of those characteristics are related to the cognitive aspects, and some of the characteristics might be related to the affective aspects. So it is not that those who are good in their subjects, they teach properly, but along with that, who is a good teacher, when we say, we also think of different affective characteristics also, like treating the students well, is able to communicate well with the students, okay, listens to the students, all those things. So in any particular aspect, for example, be it a good teacher or be it a good boss or supervisor, there are always characteristics related to the intelligence as well as characteristics related to the emotions. So the cognitive aspects as well as the affective aspects, both are important. Okay. The cognitive aspects will include your thinking, analyzing, problem solving, decision making, judging. Whereas your affective aspects, it includes characteristics like a feeling of caring for others, showing warmth or sympathy, or taking time out for the persons, showing interest in their lives and how they are doing in general in their life. Okay, so these are the different characteristics. Okay, so when we are talking about emotional intelligence, both these aspects related to the cognitive aspect as well as the affective aspect, both are important. Okay, because when we talk about emotional intelligence, both the things are required. Okay, so that we are able to deal with situations in a proper manner, we are able to interact with others in a proper manner, and we are able to handle situations in a proper manner. Now, when we are talking about these uh, aspects, now the question is, our whatever education we are receiving, does it prepare us for these kind of situations? Okay, in our schools or in our education system, we are taught different subjects. Okay, like for example, we study mathematics, we study history, we study political science or science, and all these subjects we study. But why are we not? But when we complete our education, we get into the workplace, we live life and with family responsibilities and other work responsibilities and other things. We also face stress, frustration, anxiety, or worry, failure, all these things. Now, our education mostly it doesn't. It focuses mostly on the thinking part. Okay, learning different subjects, performing well in the examination, and then clearing the examination. Okay, but mostly our education neglects in preparing us to deal with the life situations, like deal with the emotions that, or the frustration, anxiety, stress, anger, and all these things. Okay, so as you see here, there is a lacking in these things. Mostly the focus is on learning the different subjects, clearing the examination, and then getting ahead. But we also equally need to emphasize on how to deal with these things. Okay, why are we not taught how to handle these various emotions that are a natural part of our life? Okay, so emotional intelligence comes into the picture here, because mostly we talk about intelligence, but equally emotional intelligence is also important. Okay, so along with intelligence, we also need to emphasize on emotional intelligence. Okay, as it is said that intelligence is measured in terms of IQ, so all of you must be knowing. So it is said that IQ helps you to get hired in a job. It helps us to get into a particular job. But emotional intelligence, or which is measured in terms of EQ, it plays a role in getting you fired from a job. That means IQ can help one in getting into a job, but when we get into a job, there the emotional intelligence plays a more important role, because we need to know how to perform in team, how to deal with various kind of work pressure, or how to deal with stress, or how to interact with the other colleagues in the office, in the workplace, and how to contribute towards the organizational goal and all these things. So there, the emotional intelligence, the cognitive as well as the affective aspect, both plays a key role. Okay, so that is how at the workplace, or in the different aspects of our life also, including our relationship and other aspects, emotional intelligence plays a very important role. Okay, now here I would like to uh, so a video here. There is Walter Missel. Actually, he had conducted one from Stanford University. He had conducted an experiment. It is marshmallow experiment. I would just I'd see if it is. I can present this. This is an interesting experiment. What he had done is that he had taken 5-year-old children. Is it coming? The YouTube, this thing?
We are not getting the sound, ma'am. It's visible, but we are not getting the sound. Yeah, now it's there. Still, we are not able to listen to it, ma'am. We are just viewing it. It's not audible, ma'am.
Yeah, I think there is some sound, this thing, but I think the writing is coming, so that is visible. In this experiment, actually, Walter Missel, he gave marshmallows, or it's like chocolates, which are very much liked by children. So he said that I'll give you one marshmallow here. If you wait, you can eat it, or if you wait, after 15 minutes when I come back, you will get two marshmallows. So various children, they reacted in different ways. Some of them could wait, but some of them could, I mean, they just took the marshmallow. And while waiting, they were engaged in different kinds of activities, like just to not eat and wait. So they distracted themselves in various ways so that they are able to wait and not eat the marshmallow. Now, when the experimenter came back, so as promised, since the child was able to wait for 15 minutes, she was given another marshmallow to eat. While some other children, they were not able to wait. Once the experimenter left the room, the child just ate the marshmallow that was given. Some children, they could not wait and they just had the marshmallow. So similarly, Walter Missel did various, like took various children and then he did the experiment, and different children responded in different ways. So, right. Okay. So I hope it was, I think the sound was not there, but the writing was there. So I hope all of you were able to get the gist of it. Now, as we see here in this particular experiment, the missile what was done, it is the delayed gratification. Okay, this is one of the key characteristics of emotional intelligence, which is very helpful in dealing with various situations in life. Okay. Now, this EI concept, the emotional intelligence concept, was given by Daniel Goleman, and his book, like Emotional Intelligence, why it can, EQ, why it can matter more than IQ, that is very famous. And usually it is said that our intelligence or IQ, it contributes 20% to our success, whereas our emotional intelligence or EQ, it contributes 80% towards our performance and success. Okay. So that is how emotional intelligence is important in our life, and we need to focus on this, and we need to cultivate emotional intelligence. And the most important part here is that emotional intelligence can be enhanced, can be improved at any stage of life, at any age of life. Okay. Just quickly, I would like to clarify the meaning of emotional intelligence a little further by highlighting what are the misconceptions. Okay, because when we talk about emotional intelligence, we think that it is about suppressing our emotions, or it is about controlling our emotions, not expressing our emotions. Okay, but it is not. Emotional intelligence is knowing our own emotions, expressing those emotions in a proper manner. Okay, depending on the particular context or situation. Okay, so it is on also emotional intelligence doesn't mean that you are not using your rational thinking, as the term says that emotions plus intelligence both are involved here. So we use our rational thinking also when we are talking about emotional intelligence. So that means we are aware about our own emotions, and we are also using our rational thinking. Both the things are combined, so that we are behaving in a more emotionally intelligent manner in the particular situation to get a good result, or to engage in proper planning, or to take a proper decision, or to interact with others in a proper manner, or have good relationship and function in a better way. Now, this emotional intelligence, as Goldman has said, it consists of different components. Okay, there are 5 components. One is self-awareness, because one needs to know about one's own emotions, needs to be aware about oneself. Then we need to self-regulate ourselves. The emotions that we experience, we need to be able to regulate them, those emotions also. So self-awareness, self-regulation are there. And also empathy is equally important. We need to have empathy for others. We need to know the emotions in other people also. Okay. And then social skills. How do we interact with others? How do we communicate with others? Okay. Effective communication is also important. Good interpersonal skills, social skills are also important here, which play an important role in emotional intelligence. And also self-motivation. We need to motivate ourselves for performing in a better way. So self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation, and social skills, which includes communication also. So these are the 5 important components under emotional intelligence. Okay. So I hope all of you are very clear now about the concept of emotional intelligence, what is the meaning of emotional intelligence, and what are the components involved under it, and why emotional intelligence is important, and how it can help us in enhancing our mental well-being. So now I would request Suhas to focus on the various components that we have, and how we can enhance these components so that it will help us in being more emotionally intelligent. Over to you, Suhas.
Yes. Thank you so much, Swati, and good afternoon, everyone. And it's not yet good afternoon, good morning. And I will be mainly talking about some of the skills of emotional intelligence. This is my presentation. Just a minute. Okay. Just a minute. I hope you can see the presentation.
Yes, visible.
Yes, visible.
Okay, okay. So, Swati has already informed you or rather discussed about the basic concept of emotional intelligence. I would like to take it further from there. Now, this is a simple kind of a figure that I have given that I created last minute to explain to you how emotional intelligence is rather important. So, we have different types of jobs and roles. हमारे यहाँ जो होते हैं हम लोग different jobs and roles play करते हैं और बहुत सारे जो jobs and roles होते हैं उसमें different levels of skills and knowledge use होता है. जैसे skills के हम बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं तो like mechanical skills या vocational related skills जो होते हैं तो that I am talking about. So अगर आप देखते हो कि थोड़े jobs जैसे कि some of the jobs that fall down here, okay, there is nothing like better and lower over here, लेकिन down part में ऐसे jobs होते हैं जहाँ पे skills ज़्यादा जरूरी होते हैं और knowledge कम जरूरी होते हैं. ऐसे भी jobs होते हैं जहाँ पे skills और knowledge दोनों एक साथ जरूरी होते हैं और ऐसे भी knowledge jobs होते हैं जहाँ पे knowledge ज़्यादा जरूरी होते हैं और skills कम जरूरी होता है. For example, अगर आप mechanical job ले ले तो वहां पे डेफिनेटली स्किल ज्यादा जरूरी है, राइट, कि कैसे क्या करना है, स्किल ज्यादा जरूरी है. वेयर एज इफ यू टेक समथिंग लाइक अ मैनेजरियल जॉब, हायर पोजीशन, वहां पे नॉलेज की ज्यादा जरूरत होती है. बट एज यू कैन सी जो बीच का पार्ट है समथिंग लाइक बिहेवियरल स्किल्स जिसमें इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस भी आता है, वो कोई भी जॉब हो उसमें इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट तरीके से चाहिए होता है, right? So whether it is communication skills, whether it is emotional self-awareness, whether it is teamwork, all these behavioral skills that we talk about, work ethics as well to some extent, all these skills that behavioral skills that we talk about, ये कोई भी जॉब हो जहाँ पे नॉलेज ज्यादा चाहिए या नॉलेज कम चाहिए या स्किल्स ज्यादा चाहिए या स्किल्स कम चाहिए, इसमें ये बिहेवियरल स्किल्स इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं. And that is the reason why also we are talking about emotional intelligence today. In simple words, emotional intelligence is ability to manage emotions in oneself, in others, so as to reach a desired outcome. So हम अपने emotions को जाने, हम दूसरे के emotions को जाने, and then accordingly we manage the emotions. ये बहुत ही important है. Why we talk about emotional intelligence? Mental health हो, relationships, stress management, life satisfaction, motivation, communication, teamwork, lateral thinking, that is thinking out of box, being creative, social interactions, performance, leadership, सब में हमें इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस की बहुत ही ज़रूरत होती है. और बहुत सारे जो रिसर्च किए गए हैं उसमें भी देखा गया है कि इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है. जैसे स्वाति भी बता रही थी कि एक इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस में भी बहुत सारे थियरीज है और बहुत एक्सप्लेनेशंस है. एक जो थियरी दिया गया है वो है बाय डैनियल गोल्डमैन. एंड जैसे स्वाति बता रही थी कि इनमें 5 मेन कंपोनेंट्स है: सेल्फ अवेयरनेस, सेल्फ मैनेजमेंट, मोटिवेशन, एम्पैथी एंड सोशल स्किल्स. अगर हर एक कंपोनेंट को देखा जाए तो लाइक सेल्फ अवेयरनेस मेनली एक पर्सनल कॉम्पिटेंस है. So knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and in the context of emotional intelligence, also knowing your own emotions and feelings. At one point of time, what are you feeling? और in fact आप ये भी एक exercise कर सकते हो कि एक अपने मोबाइल पे एक टाइमर लगा दीजिए and every 1 hour you see what are your feelings, what are your thoughts. So बहुत सारे exercises होते हैं. and जब हम एक detailed workshop करते हैं तो बहुत सारी questionnaire भी हम लोग use करते हैं to understand or to make you own aware about your own self. Similarly, there is also self-regulation, and self-awareness is very important for self-regulation, where you there is trustworthiness, responsibility and adaptability. Motivation definitely very important because performance जो होता है हमेशा motivation पे dependent होता है. and we have also talk about over here intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. और intrinsic motivation जो होता है वो अंदरूनी motivation होता है और extrinsic motivation है वो जो है बाहर से जो आपके ऊपर pressure होता है उससे जो motivation create होता है वो. Then the other two aspects of emotional intelligence are covered under social competence, that is empathy, awareness of others' feelings and concerns. And though हम बोलते हैं ना sympathy और empathy, तो sympathy होता है कि हाँ बेचारा इसके साथ ऐसे हो गया, लेकिन empathy होता है कि अपने आप को उसकी जगह में डालना. Or this is very difficult, and I can tell you because normally most of the psychologists who have also counseling, तो हमें ये बहुत यूज करना होता है और अपने आप को किसी और के शूज में डालना. वी से दैट ना कि अपने आप को किसी और के शूज में डालना. और अगर मैं अपने शूज आपको दे देती हूँ और मैं कहती हूँ कि आप मेरे शूज में मतलब शूज पहन के देखिए, वुड इट बी कंफर्टेबल? नो. So, literally it's not comfortable to wear someone else's shoes, obviously. In a similar manner, empathizing with others also is very difficult. And similarly, social skills भी ये बहुत important aspect है emotional intelligence का. So, जब हम बोलते हैं कि हमें how to become more and more emotionally intelligent, तो इसमें ये सारी बातें आते हैं. That is, make yourself more aware, regulate yourself, motivate yourself to achieve your goal, empathize with others, and also enhance your social skills. तो जब हम एक elaborate workshop करते हैं, तो ये सारे important components के ऊपर हम बात करते हैं डिटेल में. And we also have beautiful exercises, that we can do. There are of course constraints when it comes to an online workshop, and also we have a time constraint. लेकिन ध्यान रखिए कि सेल्फ अवेयरनेस पे फोकस करिए. ऑनलाइन भी बहुत सारी एक्सरसाइजेस ऐसे अवेलेबल है. इन माय टुडेज शॉर्ट सेशन आई एम गोइंग टू फोकस लिटिल बिट ऑन सेल्फ अवेयरनेस एंड ऑल्सो ऑन कम्युनिकेशन स्किल. और उसमें भी बिकॉज व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट कम्युनिकेशन स्किल एज वेल, पूरा एक हम कोर्स डेवलप कर सकते हैं इसके ऊपर, लेकिन टुडे वी हैव सम लिमिटेशंस. So, as I said, I'm going to talk about aspects of self-awareness and communication. So, in self-awareness, I would like to tell you about Johari window model. ये जो है जोसेफ लुफ्ट और हैरी इंगम करके थे, उन्होंने ये जोहारी विंडो हमें दी है. और as you can see, ये इनके नाम का है, जोसेफ का जो और जोहारी हैरी का हैरी है इसमें. एंड ये इसलिए इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि इट विल हेल्प यू विद सॉफ्ट स्किल्स बिहेवियर, इंटरग्रुप डेवलपमेंट, टीम डेवलपमेंट, इंटरपर्सनल रिलेशनशिप डेवलपमेंट एंड ऑल्सो ट्रेनिंग self awareness. So ये जो again when we talk about self awareness, it can be linked to so many different things, even stress. तो जितना आप aware होते हैं कि कैसे situation में मैं तनाव लेता हूँ या लेती हूँ, the more aware you are, the better you are in a position to deal with stress. So in a similar manner, the more aware you are about your strengths and weaknesses, the better you are able to deal with different challenges and situations. So ये
Hello. Professor Swati ji, there is a problem in the connectivity with Professor Suhas.
Yeah.
I think there is a problem.
Actually, as Suhas was discussing about, I think she'll be joining soon. Maybe some internet connectivity too.
Right.
See, we were talking about self-awareness. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when we are talking about self-awareness, this is also important because as part of emotional intelligence, it is important to know about one's own self, one's own emotions also. then only we will be able to manage or regulate those emotions. Okay. For example, like here we can ask about different things, like when we are talking about knowing about oneself, it is we can give ourselves different questions, like for example, I'm most happy when. So then we can fill it up. Okay. In what kind of situations I'm most happy? Or like for example, I can say I feel sad when. Okay. Or I feel embarrassed when. So, or I feel angry or irritated when. Okay. And then for example, I feel motivated when. So when we ask ourselves these kind of questions, okay, this helps us in knowing what exactly we mean by knowing about one's own emotions. Okay. This helps us in uh, exploring our own emotions. This helps in exploring our own self, in what kind of situations, or when we are interacting with certain with individuals, or in these kind of situations I'm likely to experience these kind of things, or at this particular present moment what kind of emotions I'm undergoing. So when we are aware about these things, the self awareness, that gives a control to us to regulate those emotions. Okay. To start with, if I am not aware about my own emotions, I will not be able to regulate or manage those kind of emotions. So that is why we emphasize on knowing about our own emotions first of all. Now, the particular Johari window which Suhas was talking about is in Johari window, we talk about like it is a like window, as the term indicates. It is a window where there are, like for example, if we take the window and then we draw a one horizontal and vertical line, there are four panes of that window, four aspects. Okay, four parts we can say. If we divide the window with a horizontal line and a vertical line, we will get four parts. Okay. Now each part, these are different aspects of the self. Okay. In one thing we can say that in some of the aspects, I am aware about those aspects, and others also know about me. Okay. So one part of that, we can say that the others are aware about those parts in me, and I also know. For example, the color of my hair. Okay. I know the color of my hair is black. Other people also can see it, and they also can say that the color of hair is black. Okay. So it is, I also know, others also know about those aspects of myself. Some parts are there where it is, I know about these things, others do not know about that aspect of mine. Okay. So I know that I am I have this quality in me, but others might not be knowing about that particular quality. So this is another aspect in oneself. In another part is that others know about that aspect in me, but I am not aware about that aspect in me. Okay. For example, like suppose in any particular kind of situation, suppose a particular some difficult situation came up. Okay. Others know that I can handle that situation. Okay. But I might not be knowing, okay, this also exists in me. I also am capable of doing this kind of thing. Okay. So this is also another aspect of ourself where I'm not aware about that particular aspect in me, but others know that, okay, yes, you will be able to do that. Okay. The fourth one, the fourth part of this Johari window is that where I am not aware about this particular aspect, the others, they also do not know about this particular aspect in me. Okay. So it is neither I know nor others know. Okay. So when we are talking about self-awareness, the Johari window focuses on these four aspects. Okay. Where I know and others also know, which is a common area of knowledge. The second is I am aware about those things others do not know. The third is that I do not know, others are aware about those things in me. And the fourth one is neither I know nor others are aware about those aspects in me. So, and there are different activities related to each aspect of this. Usually in workshop mode, we do all these activities so that the participants, they can explore. I mean, we can explore each aspect of these things in us. Okay, and that helps us in knowing in detail or developing self-awareness for each individual. And once we develop that self-awareness, that helps us in regulating, so that if I know about ourselves, okay, these are the things that I have, definitely I'll be able to manage myself in a better way. I'll be able to function in a better way. Okay. And that will lead to self-regulation, so that I'll be able to manage my own emotions. I'll be able to express myself properly in different kinds of scenarios. Suppose the example that I gave you earlier in the beginning, that your boss has got angry with you, or you have not been able to submit the assignment on time or properly, then the kind of emotions that we are experiencing there, how we are able to manage those emotions, because you need to manage your emotions and express those emotions properly, okay, there in that particular kind of situation. Okay. And knowing about our own emotions or our own self-awareness also will help us in reframing ourselves. That we call as cognitive reframing. The thought process that we are having, that we are able to reframe or change it into a positive self-talk. Okay. So accepting one's emotions and then going for reframing our own thought process, that is also important. Okay. Now, once we develop self-awareness, the other aspect is that we need to know about the emotions in others, the empathy part. That is also very important. When we talk about knowing about others or empathy, having empathy, here also we can have different questions. We can put to ourselves different questions. For example, do I listen to others? Okay. If I listen to others, that means it is indicating that yes, I'm paying attention to what the other person is saying. I'm listening. Okay, there is a difference in hearing and listening, because listening means you are really paying attention to what the other person is saying, the verbal language as well as the non-verbal language. What are the body language of that other person? Okay. So you are listening means, listening to the other person means you are paying attention to both the verbal as well as non-verbal language of the other individual, other person. So that facilitates in having empathy towards the other person. Okay. So do you listen to others? That you can ask yourself. Do you make them feel valued? Okay. If you make the other person feel valued, that also indicates having empathy for the other person. Okay. Do you take their opinions or views in different matters? Okay. Do you appreciate their contribution? This is also important. When you have empathy, when we have empathy for the other person, we listen to them, we take their opinions or views, we appreciate their contribution, we also encourage them to share their ideas. So all this indicate having an empathetic attitude towards the other person. Okay. So you can ask yourself, do I encourage them to share their ideas? Do I appreciate their contribution? Do I make them feel that they are also a part of the group? Okay. So all these things, when you ask yourself, this indicates that you are, this will facilitate in having empathy towards the other person. So empathy, when we are talking about emotional intelligence, empathy is also very important. So these are the kind, some of these are a few examples that I gave you here. These are some few kind of questions that you can ask yourself. If you are having this, then you can be able to know that, okay, if I'm having empathy or not. These are very few questions I gave you here. But when you are talking about empathy, there are a number of other activities also we can do, which will facilitate in developing empathy for other persons, because empathy also plays a very important role when we are talking about emotional intelligence. Okay. And as the third aspect is motivation. Okay. So motivation, as was also telling, that intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation usually we talk about. And intrinsic motivation is having motivation within, internal motivation. Okay. So it is not related to the material things only, that okay, for the material things only you are doing a particular task or this thing. That may be there, but one needs to go beyond that, also having internal motivation. So that will lead us to really contribute towards something. Okay. and that also will give you a real satisfaction out of doing that particular job or work. Okay. So because self-motivation is very important, that that acts a kind of gear which propels you towards carrying out a particular or reaching a particular goal. Okay. So motivation is very, very important when we are talking about emotional intelligence. Okay. And the next thing is that social skills. Social skills includes your listening skills. It includes your communication skills. Okay. It includes your interpersonal skills. Okay, that helps us in having a good interpersonal relationship, because many times when we are getting into life in our workplace, we have to work in we have to work along with our colleagues. We have to work in a team. Okay, so there, having good communication skills or having good interpersonal skills are very important. The social skills play an important role. Okay. So only having intellectual capability will not help you there. Okay. As I said earlier, intelligence or IQ helps you in getting hired for a job. Okay. But once we are in a particular job, there our emotional intelligence, EQ, matters a lot. Okay. Which includes our social skills also. Okay. So social skills are very important in enhancing our emotional intelligence. Okay. Because having a positive attitude helps one. It helps us in managing stress at the workplace. Okay. And also engaging in different kinds of relaxation activities or exercise or yoga activities. That also helps us in managing our emotions. Okay. And becoming more aware about our own emotions. Okay. And ultimately facilitating emotional intelligence. Okay. One more thing here is that journaling. Okay. Journaling also helps us a lot. Okay. Like for example, at the end of the day, if you keep a journal, you write down whatever has happened during the entire day. That also helps one to reflect on what are the situations one has encountered, what are the emotions one has experienced, and how one has dealt with those kinds of emotions. Okay. And that will help us to know whether it was effective or not effective. And then one can sort of have a feedback on oneself, and then one can reframe one's thought processes. One can adopt more effective strategies in one's day-to-day functioning, so that that will lead to better decision making or better way of relating with other persons. Okay. So these are the different ways in which we can be aware of our own the self-awareness, self-motivation, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills. So these are the different things that are very important when we talk about being more emotionally intelligent. Okay. And I think it is going to be the time. So at the end of it, like when we are talking about emotional intelligence, I would like to give a quote here, which was given by Aristotle. Aristotle has said that anyone can become angry, that is easy. But to be angry with the right person at the right time and for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everyone's power, and that is not easy. Okay. So this was given by Aristotle, and this particular quote, it sums up emotional intelligence. Okay. When we say that it is like easy to become angry, but at what time you can become angry, for what purpose, and in what manner. So Aristotle, this particular quote by Aristotle, it sums up what exactly is emotional intelligence. So that is the importance of emotional intelligence, and I hope all of you emphasize on emotional intelligence, and these 5 components that we highlighted here. Focus on these 5 components, and there are different activities that can be carried out as part of this to enhance these 5 components, which will help us to be more emotionally intelligent and function in a better way. Okay. So I think I end it here. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Swati and Professor Suhas, for the wonderful presentation. And we assure you that we will organize one day, full day workshop on face-to-face basis of all the students of the MA Psychology will be called for the interaction and the workshop. And as per your convenience, we will plan this workshop for full day at the Regional Center Noida, or hopefully we will organize immediately after the Diwali. We will organize and we will invite you for this workshop. And I request Dr. M.A. Laskar to conclude this program with vote of thanks. Unmute करिए.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Madam, namaskar.
Today's topic is basically it is an important topic. It is actually reflected in our daily activities and daily life, and it is actually happening around all of us. The issues that are being discussed today, it is happening all around us, and it is in fact affecting each one of us. And emotional intelligence, or Madam जो बताए 80% is, and IQ is 20%. जो हमारा वो productivity जो भी है उसमें it gives impact. मेरे हिसाब से IQ भी कुछ IQ and emotional intelligence are very related. Without IQ also, you cannot have an emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence are not a separate entity, I believe. It has to be, there has to be some basis of emotional intelligence. Of course, it can be, you have to adopt the emotions and change. It is not a fixed thing actually. You have to adopt the emotional intelligence through IQ and other social interactive processes, because ultimately society and social environment impacts both our one is emotional activities, and of course intelligence also it will impact us. Then you have seen there are certain situations, there are people, individuals are overthinking individuals, very highly rational individuals. Whether they have any impact on their emotional behavior. I would like to know from our expert in near future, maybe whenever you get experience, I come to know, because I think this issue is, I have seen some particularly young children, they are behaving in a overthinking manner or very highly rational manners, and I think because of their age specificity, because it may be depending on the age also. The emotional intelligence, it may be also, I think, I do not know, I'm not expert, but I wanted to know actually how age specific relationship with emotional intelligence, whether any age issue is there. Then basically emotion, what I feel, is a collective entity. It is a collective social entity, and it cannot be developed in an individual manner. You have to see things. You have to react accordingly. Our epistemes actually behave as per our thinking capacity. जो cognitive development जो है मैडम ने बोला है, it depends on that also. So it is a very big, broad actually. This topic is very big. It looks very small, and basically some of the important issues that you need to reflect on in the case of emotions are happiness, how it impacts on that, and satisfaction level, then our accommodation, how do you accommodate things, and how do you behave and react. These are actually very important things when you deal with our daily activities. And Madam, within the limited time, they have covered many issues. They have covered various components of the emotional impact, and with examples also, some of the important examples. But these are topics where you require more more time to elaborate, more time to discuss and debate, and then only, because Professor Patra Madam also was telling that she wanted to express through interaction, and that is in fact required for such kind of topic. And I hope that our senior director already told that he will be trying to organize some face-to-face interaction on these issues. So thanks to Madam, both madams, Professor Suhas and Professor Patra Madam. You are actually expert in this field, and you are already doing numerous activities in the field through your program also. And in fact, you are also, I have seen, you are also very actively trying to help students in various ways. Very active. It is not seen in other faculty discipline I have seen. So these are also important part because it is because emotions are ultimately interdependent. It is not interdependent in the sense it cannot be developed in an individual. It has to be some kind of encouraged, motivated, and it has to be imbibed like that also. So this plays an important role, collective effort, and that is, and I believe participant has earned at least some kind of their own understanding on the topics based on the presentation, and it will be helpful. And I look forward that such kind of discussion will be happening regularly on regular basis. And thanks to I thank our senior director that he has given free hand to Anjana to organize this program, and in a very in fact you could not communicate student in a large number, because once you open the online session to student, sometimes they come with some hacking problem with that experience you experienced. So as our RDs are told that this meeting is being recorded, it will be communicated to students through email separately, because to avoid any kind of disturbances through hacking, you avoided communicating to large number of students. So otherwise their meeting would have seen many students in fact. And in fact, in some of our experience, in some of our meeting, you experienced some kind of disturbances, and because of that, you avoided a large number of students. Public platform was not actually desirable for this kind of meeting through online actually. When it is offline, it will be no problem. So thanks to Senior Director, Dr. Anjana is the main organizer of this program. She has taken all the pain on organizing the program, and all the details she communicated to all the persons, and she was motivating the staff also here to join. Thanks to all the participants from other resource centers and all the staffs from State Center also. It was good to see all of you, and thanks to the team, technical team, who has provided support in terms of playing the IGNOU Kulgeet also, and running the program, organizer of the Google Meet link, जो इन्होंने क्या है, तो सबको धन्यवाद. Thanks to all of you again. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Laskar. I am also thankful to RD Shillong, RD Kolkata, RD Delhi 1, Delhi 2, Delhi 3. They joined throughout this program. And I assure you that we'll definitely organize one workshop in a face-to-face manner at the Regional Center Noida. And we will call you for this workshop as per your convenience. Immediately after the Diwali, we will organize. And we will share this recording to all the students through the face-to-face, through the Facebook, through the through emails to all the students, because as Dr. Laskar told last time, there was some hacking of the program, and some students have given wrong pictures in the. That is why we have not invited the student, and we will share this recording to all the students. And this is very wonderful program. बहुत अच्छा program लगा, and thankful to Professor Suhas, Professor Patra, and really it's a good program. And now I request Mr. Satyendra Singh Kushwaha to initiate for the Rashtra Gan.
I would just like to say something. I really want to apologize because I think I got disconnected. And I will pass on my PPT because I was talking about Johari window, and that was followed by very interesting transnational analysis. मैं आपको ये email कर देती हूँ RC Noida को. Thank you so much.
Okay, madam.
कृपया आप लोग अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं. राष्ट्रगान
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जाग सिंधु जवाहर उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय हे